What's going on, guys? So before we get started with the main video, I wanted to talk about a collaboration video I did a while back with David Van Voris. So I reached out to him because he had made a video showcasing his 2019 Ram Laramie four-wheel drive crew cab truck hauling a 24-foot enclosed car trailer. And when he was hauling it in that video, I noticed that he was talking about how the truck didn't necessarily struggle to pull it, but it struggled to control the trailer, and it really wasn't the most comfortable towing experience, and he had recommended going with a heavier tow vehicle simply because it gives you more confidence, it inherently tows better, and you don't have as much sway, or I guess that feeling of not being in complete control when you're hauling a heavy, long, tall profile trailer. I thought it would be a great segment to have him on my channel explaining some of those scenarios when hauling a trailer. So he graciously enough put together a video where he was hauling that same 24-foot enclosed car carrier behind his truck and demonstrating a little bit of the towing dynamics. Now, the purpose of that video was to kind of point out some of the shortcomings of a half-ton truck towing a large trailer. But a lot of the commenters focused on the lack of a trailer brake controller or the lack of a weight distribution sway control hitch. And what I want to remind you guys real quick is the fact that he was towing a trailer that only weighed 3,800 pounds. That's right, 3,800 pounds. It was an empty enclosed car hauling trailer with a gross vehicle weight rating of about 9,800 pounds. But as it was very, very light. It was roughly the equivalent of a very, very light travel trailer. The truck's tow capacity is upwards of 10,000 pounds. So the point I was making is in a scenario like that where you don't even need to have a trailer brake controller because the trailer's gross vehicle weight is under 4,500 pounds, at least here in the state of Texas, and the tongue weight was only going to be between 400 and 500 pounds max as it was configured, so there wasn't a lot of tongue weight there, and it was still showing some issues with sway. It was still showing some issues controlling a relatively short trailer. I know as car haulers go for light-duty trucks, 24 feet is a pretty good length, but in reality, it's not a very long trailer. That is on par with a much smaller travel trailer, and I know a lot of folks, when you load up your trailer, if you're going to be 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 pounds, you know it's important to have a weight distribution hitch, a good quality brake control system, and the ability to truly control a trailer. But remember, that trailer was 3,800 pounds, it was 24 feet long, and it had a very light tongue weight, and it was empty. So when you take all of that into consideration, most people would say that that truck should have been more than capable of handling that trailer in the configuration it was in. Now, in terms of everything he did in that video, I generally don't recommend taking any trailer up to 80 miles an hour. In my opinion, you really want to keep a trailer under 65 to 70 miles an hour max. For me, I usually don't exceed 65 miles an hour. But he was making a great point to show you the truck has more than enough power to move the trailer. So that wasn't the issue. The issue is the fact that the trailer is going to be impacted by wind. The trailer is going to act as a wall, and it can definitely pass some of those kind of scary sway moments onto the truck, so you want to be very careful. Anyways, I just wanted to clear that up. Onto the video. What's going on, guys? So we are back here at Ron Hoover RV and Marine in Corpus Christi, and I'm here to talk to you about towing a fifth wheel like this with your half-ton truck. Now, before we take a closer look at the numbers on this trailer, most manufacturers of half-ton trucks now offer a package that can tow well in excess of 10,000 pounds. What a lot of people may not realize is your specific truck, based on its configuration, package, and trim level, may not be able to tow that much, or may not be rated to tow that much. But let's just say hypothetically that 12,000 pounds is what your half-ton truck is rated to tow. Typically, even if you have a 12,000 pound tow capacity, your payload capacity with a max payload package is still going to be at or around 2,000 to 2,200 pounds. So when you take a look at this Hideout by Keystone, you're looking at the weight over the back of your truck, that's probably going to be in the 2,000 pound range. So even if you have a maximum payload capacity of roughly 2,200 pounds, right off the bat, 2,000 pounds of that is going to be gone with the weight of this fifth wheel in the bed of your truck. So the gross vehicle weight rating on this specific trailer is 10,500 pounds. Again, if you have a truck that's rated at 12,000 pounds, why couldn't you haul something like this? If you put 1,000 pounds of payload in a half-ton truck rated for 2,200 pounds max payload, you'll notice it's going to squat quite a bit, and it's also going to bounce quite a bit if you go over bumps. That softer feel is really going to be emphasized when you put 2,000 pounds worth of weight in the back of your vehicle. Plus, that doesn't take into account people on board, anything you carry inside of your fifth wheel that adds additional weight, as well as the fifth wheel hitch that you have in the bed. Most fifth wheel hitches weigh anywhere between about 125 to 200 pounds. Once you add that in the bed of your truck, and you add the pin weight of the actual fifth wheel, you're looking right at maxing out your payload capacity of your vehicle. Now, some people claim that these are half-ton towable if you add airbags and you add other suspension enhancements to your vehicle. And you may be able to notice a significant improvement in handling by adding that stuff to your vehicle, but by no means do airbags or other suspension components add to the structural rigidity of your frame, add to the strength of your frame. And at that point, you're adding additional weight and stress to the frame of your vehicle. So you have to be careful in terms of what you're loading into a truck and what you're trying to do to combat that load in terms of suspension enhancements. Now, even though this specific fifth wheel is called a mid-profile unit, which means this front area right here is a little lower than most, you're still looking at a maximum height of around 12.5 feet tall. So 12.5 feet of RV hanging out over the back of your truck in high winds can really lead to some scary situations. Even though towing a fifth wheel is going to be more controllable and stable compared to a travel trailer simply because the weight is over the axles as opposed to behind your truck. But towing something this tall, you're definitely going to know that it's behind you the entire time, and it can lead to some very, very stressful situations when towing. Now guys, I am not out there to criticize anybody who's using their truck to tow, as long as they're doing it safely and they're doing it in a manner that's not overstressing the truck or putting other people on the road in danger. There are people that tow fifth wheels with half tons. This is too big of a trailer in my opinion. There are some half-ton towable fifth wheels out there that are very short and very light. The point of my videos isn't to be the weight police and tell everyone they're doing it wrong if they're doing it a certain way. The point of my videos is to try to provide the safest and most comfortable possible towing experience for people out there looking to tow an RV or that are into towing RVs. The last thing I want is someone to assume that the truck they bought is more than capable to tow anything when that might not be the case. And then they get out on the road with their family around other traffic and scenarios where it's less than desirable, or they run into high stress situations where the entire trip is just a stressful white knuckle trip simply because they were sold a vehicle that they were told could tow a trailer that they were also sold based on the sale versus trying to get the right information out. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a short video to kind of point out what I'm talking about when I talk to you about towing with half-ton vehicles. Fifth wheels, large travel trailers really should be set up for 3/4 ton up trucks. From a suspension, from a stability, from a power management perspective, it just makes sense. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you again very soon.